Jayo Jayo Shri Chaitanya Jayo Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya
Jayo Jayo Shri Chaitanya Jayo Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Chaitanya Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura
So the next chapter shuru karte hain, Madhavendra Puri's devotional service. Yasmai datum chorayan shira bhandam gopinata shira charobhido abhut Shri Gopalaha pradurashid vashasan yat premnatan madhavendram nato asmi. I offer my restful obeisances unto Madhavendra Puri, who has given a pot of sweet rice stolen by, who was given a pot of sweet rice stolen by Sri Gopinatha, celebrated thereafter as Shri Rachora. Being pleased by Madhavendra Puri's love, Shri Gopala, the deity of Govardhana, appeared to the public vision. So this is the life of Madhavendra Puri being discussed here. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taken permission from his mother and left Advaita Acharya's house. And now he's moving toward Jagannath Puri. On the one by one, he'll come to different holy places. There he visit the temple of Shira Chora Gopinath, and there the narration of the pastime of the Lord Krishna will happen, and he enjoys that. Okay? So Lord Chaitanya will narrate this story. Let us hear this now, chapter. All glories to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all glories to Nityananda Prabhu, all glories to Advaita Prabhu, all glories to all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya. The Lord went to Jagannath Puri and visited Lord Jagannath, and Puri also met with Sarava Bhattacharya. All this past is very elaborately explained by the Vrindavan Das Thakur in the book Chaitanya Bhagavata. By nature, all the activities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are very wonderful and sweet, and when they are described by Vrindavan Das Thakur, they become like a shower of nectar. It's always glorifying. That's the mood, his previous Acharya. See what happens, but in Chaitanya Charitamrita, there are a lot of discussions, a lot of philosophy. Therefore, when Srila Prabhupada could not do both, he can do one. He did Chaitanya Charitamrita. That's where we are studying that book given by Srila Prabhupada, and also comes with important instructions and purport by Srila Prabhupada, authorized explanation. Therefore, I very humbly submit that since these incidents have been already nicely described in Vrindavan Das Thakur, I would be very proud to repeat the same thing. And this would not be very good. I do not have such powers. I am therefore presenting only a synopsis of those events already described, elaborated by Vrindavan Das Thakur in Chaitanya Mangala, now Chaitanya Bhagavata. The incident he did not describe elaborately, but only summarized, and thus I will describe in this book. I offer my respectful obeisance lotus feet of Vrindavan. See, he doesn't want to do any aparadha. See, obeisance into lotus feet of Vrindavan Das Thakur, that I will not offend his lotus feet by this action. See, so sweet. Sri Chaitanya proceeded toward Jagannath Puri with 4 of his devotees, and he chanted the holy name of the Lord, the Hare Krishna mantra, with great eagerness. Each day, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally went to the village and collected great quantity of rice and other grains for the preparation of prasada. There are many rivers on the way, and at each river there was a tax collector. They did not hinder Lord, however, and he showed them mercy. Finally, he reached the village of Remuna. Generally in India, previously 500 years ago, sannyasi will not be forbidden anywhere. He can go. He doesn't have to pay tax. The deity of Gopinatha in the temple of Ramuna was very attractive. Lord Chaitanya visited the temple and offered his obeisances with great devotion. While Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu offered his obeisances at the lotus feet of Gopinath deity, the helmet of flowers on the head of Gopinatha fell down and landed on the head of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The deity always gives small signal. When the deity's helmet fell upon his head, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very pleased, and then he chanted and danced in various ways with his devotees. All the surroundings of the deity were struck with wonder due to the Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's intense love, his exquisite beauty, and his transcendental qualities. Because of the love for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they served him in many ways. At night, the Lord stayed at the temple of Gopinath. The Lord remained there because he was very eager to receive the remnant of sweet rice offered to Gopinath deity, having heard a narration from his spiritual master, Ishwar Puri, what had once happened there. With whom? Ishwar Puri's guru, Madhavendra Puri. The deity was known widely as Shira Choro Gopinatha, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told his devotee the story how the deity became so famous. Formerly, the deity had stolen a pot of sweet rice from Madhavendra Puri, therefore he became very famous as the Lord who stole the sweet rice. Once Sri Madhavendra Puri traveled to Vrindavana, where he came upon the hill known as Govardhana. Madhavendra Puri was almost mad in his ecstasy and love of Godhead. He did not know whether it was day or night. Sometimes he stood up, sometimes he fell to the ground. He could not discriminate whether he was in a proper place or not. So that is Madhavendra Puri. As similar, we see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also in that same parampara. Chaitanya was Krishna, but love of Krishna is also manifested in Madhavendra Puri, his guru's guru. After circumambulating the hill, Madhavendra Puri went to Govinda Kunda and took his bath. He then sat beneath the tree to take his evening rest. Anybody can locate who is Madhavendra Puri, Hare Krishna, from our list? Yes,
Desire
Manasri.
tree.
Huh?
Mataji, Prabhuji, the Kalpa Vriksha,
Ah,
from which all the desires of Krishna are fulfilled. The Kalpa Vriksha.
great. Yes, yes. After circumambulating the hill, Madhavendra Puri went to the Govinda Kunda and took his bath. He then sat beneath a tree to take his evening rest. When he was sitting, so Madhavendra Puri will not ask for food. He used to always, if somebody gives, he'll eat, otherwise he will fast. Okay. When he was sitting beneath the tree, an unknown coward boy came with the pot of milk, placed it before Madhavendra Puri, and smilingly addressed him as follows. Oh, Madhavendra Puri, please drink the milk and I have brought. Why don't you bake some food to eat? What kind of meditation are you undergoing? When he saw the beauty of that boy, Madhavendra Puri became very satisfied. Hearing his sweet words, he forgot all hunger and thirst. Madhavendra Puri said, who are you? Where do you reside? And how did you know that I was fasting? The boy replied, Sir, I am a coward boy and reside in this village. In my village, no one fasts. In this village, a person can beg food from others and thus eat. Some people drink only milk. If the person does not ask anyone for food, I supply him all the eatables. We also go to Vrindavan. Did somebody come and give him milk to you? You have to become pure devotee. Then this will happen. People have this kind of jokes, I went there. One boy came, said, Mama, you go there. And I went, then the boy disappeared, as if they are another Madhavendra Puri. No cheating. We have to become pure devotee, then we will find a reciprocation like this. The woman, Krishna is always there in Vrindavan, and all his leelas are going on, but we cannot see. Neither we can attract the attention of Krishna because we are not at all a devotee. The woman who came here to take water saw you and they supplied you in the milk and sent you. So some ladies saw you, they were collecting some water, you're sitting, not eaten anything, so they sent some milk for you. The boy continued, I must go very soon to milk the cows, but I shall take back this milk pot from you. Now, Krishna is funny. It's Krishna himself and is telling a lie to him. He's not going to come. Saying this, the boy left the place. Indeed, he suddenly could not be seen anymore, no more. Madhupuri's heart was filled with wonder. After drinking the milk, Madhupuri washed the pot and put it aside. He looked toward the pot, but the boy never returned to collect the pot. Madhupuri could not sleep. He sat and chanted Hare Krishna Mahamantra. At the end of the night, he dozed a little and his external activity stopped. In a dream, Madhupuri saw this very same boy. The boy came before him and holding his hand took him to the bush in the jungle. The boy showed Madhupuri the bush and said, I reside in this bush, and because of this I suffer very much from the severe cold, rain, shower, wind and scorching heat. Please bring the people of the village and get them to take me out of this bush. Then have them situate me nicely on the top of the hill. So Krishna is ordering Madhupuri, please make a temple for me. And I am lying now as a deity. Actually, the deity is not different from Krishna. The deity had come to him and said that, he's in trouble. Krishna is not in trouble, but Krishna takes seva. Deity is seva. Deity takes seva from the devotees. Please construct, he's ordering him. Please construct a temple on the top of the hill. The boy continued, install me in the temple. After this, wash him with large quantity of water, cold water, so my body may be cleansed. For many days, I have been observing and I have been wondering when will Madhupuri come here to serve me. I have accepted your service due to your ecstatic love for me, that I shall appear and my audience, all fallen souls, will be delivered. My name is Gopal, and I am the lifter of the Govardhan hill. I was installed a Vajra, and here I am the authority. Vajra is Krishna's great grandson, Pradyumna Aniruddha Vajra. And Vajra was ruling when Krishna had disappeared. Yudhishthira Maharaj enthroned him as a king. And Vajra people, on the request of people, installed various original deities of Vrindavan. Govindji, Gopalji, Gopinathji, all the deities you see in Vrindavan today, the temples were actually installed by him. And later these deities were taken away. Like this Gopal deity is in Srinathji now. The Govindji is in Jaipur now because they were attacked by various dangerous people. So the deities were taken to safe places in Gujarati and Rajasthan. When the Muslim attacked, the priest who was serving me hid me in this bush in the jungle. Then he ran away out of fear of the attack. So that's what happened. I was hiding. Since the priest went away, I have been staying in this bush. It is very good that you have come here. Now just remove me with care. After saying that, the boy disappeared. The Madhupuri woke up and began to consider his dream. Madhupuri began to lament, I saw Lord Krishna directly, but I could not recognize him. Thus he fell on the ground in ecstatic love. Wow, kya bhai, Krishna came and I did not recognize. Madhupuri cried for some time, then he fixed his mind on executing the order of Gopala, then he became tranquil. After taking his morning bath, Madhupuri entered the village and assembled all the people. Then he spoke as follows. The proprietor of this village, Govardhan Dhari, is lying in the bushes. Let us go there and rescue him from that place. The bushes are very dense and we will not be able to enter the jungle. Therefore, take choppers and spades to clear the way. After hearing this, all the people accompanied Madhupuri with great pleasure. See, they're devotees. Vrindavan means they're always devotees. According to his direction, they cut down bushes, cleared the path and entered the jungle. When they saw the deity covered in dirt and grass, they were struck with wonder and pleasure. What? He gets a dream. And it's there. He saw in the dream and exactly same place the deity is there. After they cleaned the body of the deity, some of them said, the deity is very heavy. No one person can move him. So since his deity was very heavy, some of the stronger men assembled to carry him at the top of the hill. Madhupuri also went there. A big stone was made into the throne and the deity was installed upon it. Another big stone was placed behind the deity for support. All the Brahmanas, priests in the village gathered together with 9 water pots and water from Govinda Kund lake was brought there and filtered. Now, these are not like the birth Brahmanas we have today. People are more qualified. When the deity was being installed, 900 pots of water brought from Govinda Kund. There was musical sound, the bugles and drums and singing of women. During the festival or the installation ceremony, some people sang and some danced. All the milk, yogurt, clarified butter in the village was brought to the festival. Various foods and sweetmeats as well as other kind of presentation were brought there. I'm unable to describe them all. The villagers brought a large quantity of tulsi leaf, flowers and other kinds of garments. Then Madhupuri personally began the Abhisheka. After all the inauspicious things were driven away by the chanting of the mantra, the deity bathing ceremony started. for the deity and massage a large quantity of oil so the body became very glossy. After the first bathing, further bathing was conducted. And with the Panchagavya and Panchamrita, then the Mahasnana was performed. Performed with ghee and water, which had been brought in 100 pots. After the Mahasana was finished, the deity was again massaged with scented oil and his body made glossy. Then the last bathing ceremony was performed with scented water kept within a conch shell. After the body, the deity was clean. He was dressed very nicely with new garment. The sandal purb, tulsi garland, and other fragrant flowers were placed upon the body of the deity. After the bathing ceremony was finished, incense and lamps were burned and all kind of food offered before the deity. These foods included yogurt, milk, and as many sweetmeats as we have received. Deity was first offered many varieties of food, then scented drinking water in new pots, and then water for washing the mouth. Finally, pan mixed with variety of spices was offered. Deity you can offer, not for us. After the last offering of tambula and pan, the bhoga artika was performed. Finally, everyone offered various prayers and then obeisances, falling flat before the deity in full surrender. As soon as the people of the village had understood that the deity was going to be installed, they had brought their entire stocks of rice, dal, and wheat flour. They brought such large quantity that the entire top of the hill was filled. So people had reciprocated. When the villagers brought the stock of rice, dal, flour, potters of the village brought all kind of cooking pots, and in the morning the cooking began. Now Annakutta ceremony started again. The Brahmanas cooked the food grains, and the 10 Brahmanas cooked the food grains, 5 Brahmanas both dry and liquid vegetables. The vegetable preparation are made from various kinds of spinach, roots, and fruits collected from the forest, and somebody made bada and badi by mashing dal. In this way, the Brahmana prepared all kind of food. 5 to 7 men had prepared a huge quantity of chapati, which was sufficiently covered with ghee. And as all the vegetables, rice and dal, all the cooked rice was stacked on palasha leaves, which were on new cloths spread over the ground. Around the stacks of cooked rice or stacks of chapatis, and all the vegetables and liquid vegetable preparation are placed in different pots and put around. The Lord is being feasted now. Pots of yogurt, milk, buttermilk, shikhandi, shikarani, sweet rice, cream, and solid cream placed along the vegetables. In this way, the Annakutta ceremony is performed, and the Madhapuri Goswami personally offered everything to the Gopala. Many water pots are filled with scented water for drinking, and Lord Shri Gopala, who had been hungry for many days, ate everything offered to him. Although Shri Gopala ate everything offered, still by the touch of his transcendental hand, everything remained as before. Now, this is very difficult to understand for people who are in the beginning. How does it happen? That's the magic of Krishna. He eats Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Visheshyate. Even though complete is so great that anything is taken out, still it remains complete. So even though Krishna eats it, it remains as it is. That is his magic. Somebody asked Srila Prabhupada, how do I know Krishna eats? So Prabhupada said, whom do I believe? Should I believe will a rascal like you or Krishna? Krishna says, I eat, and you say he doesn't eat. Whom should I believe? Lord Gopala ate everything while the food remained the same. A transcendently perceived Madhapuri Goswami, nothing remains a secret to the devotees of the Lord. The wonderful festival and installation of Sri Gopalji was arranged in one day. Certainly all this accomplished by the potency of Gopala. No one but a devotee can understand this. Madhapuri offered water to Gopala for washing his mouth, and he gave him betel nuts to chew. Then while Aarti was performed, all the people chanted, Jai, Jai, all glories to Gopala. Arranging for the Lord's rest, Sri Madhapuri brought a new cot, and over this he spread a new bedstead, and thus made a bed ready. So he made for the Lord Shayana bed. A temporary temple was constructed by covering the bed all around with straw mattress, and thus there was the bed and a straw mattress to cover it. After the Lord was laid down to rest on the bed, Madhapuri gathered all the Brahmanas, prepared the prasad, and said to them, now feed everyone sumptuously, the children up to the aged. First is children. They are most restless. First feed. All the people gathered there, sat down to honor the prasadam, and by they took food. All the Brahmana wives were fed first. These are not birth Brahmana, they're qualified Brahmana. Not only did the people of Govardhan village take prasada, but also those who came from other villages. They also saw the deity of Gopala and offered prasadam to eat. Seeing the influence of Madhapuri, all the people gathered were struck with wonder. They saw that the Annukuta ceremony, which had been performed before, during the time of Krishna, was now being taking place again by the mercy of Madhvendra Puri. All the Brahmanas present on the occasion were initiated by Madhapuri into Vaishnava cult, and Madhvendra Puri engaged them in various types of service. So Vaishnava is even greater than a Brahmana. Brahmana means he knows the soul. Vaishnava knows Vishnu, Krishna. Brahma janati iti brahmana. After taking rest, the deity must be awakened at the end of the day, as immediately some food and some water must be supplied to him. It was advertised throughout the country that the Lord Gopal had appeared atop Govardhan Hill. All the people from neighboring villages came to see the deity. One village or another was pleased to beg Madhapuri to allot them one day to perform the Annukuta ceremony. Can you just imagine the devotion? Thus, day after day, Annukuta ceremony is performed for some time. Sri Madhapuri did not eat anything through the day, but at night, before laying the deity down to rest, he took a milk preparation. Same. He is not Jain. He's same. Little milk he drinks, that's it. The next morning, the rendering of service to the deity began again, and the people from one village arrived with all kinds of food grains. So this kept happening. The inhabitants of the village brought to the deity of Gopala as much food grain, ghee, yogurt, and milk they had in their village. They brought everything. Can you just imagine? The next day, almost like before, there was the Annakuta ceremony. All the Brahmanas prepared food, and Gopalji accepted them. The ideal place to execute Krishna-conscious Vrajabhumi and Vrindavana are where the people are naturally inclined to love Krishna, and Krishna naturally inclined to love them. Throngs of people came from various villages to see the deity of Gopal, and they took Mahaprasada sumptuously. When they saw the super excellence form of Lord Gopala, all the lamentation and happiness disappeared. See, so wonderful devotees. Just by taking darshan, all their exhaustion is over. All the village in the neighboring Vrajabhumi Vrindavana became aware of the appearance of Gopala, and all the people from the village came to see him. Day after day, they all performed the Annukuta ceremony. In this way, not only the neighboring villages, but all other provinces came to know Gopal's appearance. Thus, people came from all over, bringing a variety of presentation. The people of Mathura is a town, rich town. Very big capitalists also brought various presentation, offered them before the deity in devotion service. There's countless presentation of gold, silver, garments, scented article eatables arrived. The store of Gopal increased daily. One very rich Kshatriya of the royal order constructed a temple, and someone made cooking utensils, and someone constructed boundary walls. Each and every family residing in the land of Vrajabhumi contributed one cow. In this way, thousands of cows became the property of Gopala. Eventually, two Brahmanas in the renounced order arrived from Bengal, and Madhapuri liked them very much, kept them in the Vrindavana, gave them all kinds of comforts. The two were then initiated by Madhapuri, and they entrusted them to the daily service of the Lord. The service was performed continuously, and the worship of the deity became very gorgeous. Thus, Madhapuri was very pleased. In this way, the deity worship in the temple was very gorgeously performed for 2 years. Then one day, Madhapuri had a dream. Now, second dream. In his dream, Madhapuri saw Gopala, who said, "My bodily temperature still does not decrease. Please bring some sandalwood from Malaya province and smear the pulp over my body to cool me. Bring some sandalwood. Now I'm feeling so hot." This is the dream. Okay, so now bring sandalwood from Jagannath Puri. You will get that sandalwood at Jagannath Puri. Kindly go quickly, since no one else can do it, you must. So he gave him an instruction, and Madhapuri left. After having this dream, the Madhapuri Goswami became very glad due to ecstasy love of Godhead. In order to execute the command of the Lord, he started east towards Bengal. Before leaving, Madhapuri made all arrangements for regular deity worship, and engaged different people in various duties. Then, taking up the order of Gopala, he started from Bengal. When Madhapuri arrived at the house of Advaita Acharya in Shantipur, the Acharya became very pleased upon seeing the ecstatic love of Godhead manifest in Madhavendra. Arrived at the house of Advaita Acharya, and Advaita Acharya then begs for Diksha from Madhavendra. Advaita Acharya begged to be initiated in Madhavendra, and after initiating in Madhavendra, started for South India. Going to South India, Madhavendra visited Remuna. Now you see, just like Lord Chaitanya's travel, Madhavendra is traveling from Vrindavan. He has gone to meet Advaita Acharya and now going down. Remuna, where the Gopinath is situated. Upon seeing the beauty of the deity, Madhavendra was overwhelmed. In the corridor of the temple from where people generally view the deity, Madhavendra chanted and danced. And he sat down there and asked a Brahmana what kind of food they offered to the deity. From the excellence of the arrangement, Madhavendra understood the deduction that the only best food is offered, good arrangement for service to the deity. Madhavendra thought, I shall inquire from the priest what kind of food is offered to Gopinath, so that by making arrangement in our kitchen, we can have similar food offered to Sri Gopala. That was the intention. The Brahmana priest was questioned about this matter. He explained in detail what kind of food are offered to the deity of Gopinatha. The Brahmana priest said in the evening, the deity is offered sweet rice in 12 earthen pots. Because the taste is as good as nectar, it is called Amrita Kheli. Okay. That is the name, as nectar. The sweet rice is celebrated throughout the world as Gopinath Kshira. It is not offered anywhere else in the world. So tasty it is. While Madhavendra was talking with the Brahmana priest, the sweet rice was placed before the deity as an offering, and hearing this, Madhavendra thought as follows. If without my asking, little portion of sweet rice is given to me, I can then taste and make a similar preparation to offer to my Lord Gopala. So he knows cooking. Huh? He also knows. Because those who know cooking, by tasting, they can know what all is there. So I can make a similar beautiful sweet rice. Madhavendra became greatly ashamed when he desired to taste the sweet rice, and immediately began to think of Lord Vishnu. Okay? So the offering was, why I feel ashamed? Offering had not happened till now. So we should not taste a bhoga. Therefore, if you know in the temple, kitchen is always, door is closed in temples. And whenever offering plate goes, it is covered with a cloth. Because people, their tendency, the moment they see, they lust over it. And that's our tendency. Okay? Or saliva comes in our mouth. Children, so they throw saliva outside and we hide, but inside saliva starts, which is not good, because you are at least mentally, by seeing, enjoying the bhoga before it is offered to the Lord. So Madhavendra therefore thought he has done a mistake. He has tried to enjoy something which is still not offered, at a small mistake of etiquette, even though it was just for Krishna. And Krishna did not take it as an offense, we will see. When he desired to taste the sweet rice, he immediately began to think of Lord Vishnu. When he was thus thinking of Lord Vishnu, the offering was completed, the Arati ceremony begins. But after the Arati finished, Madhavendra offered his obeisance to the deity and left the temple. He did not say anything more to anyone, because he is feeling, I have done enough, it's a great sin today. Madhavendra avoided begging. He was completely unattached and indifferent no matter thing. If without his begging, someone offered him some food, he would eat, otherwise he would fast. This is called actually Ajagara Vritti, not to be imitated. The Paramhamsa, like Madhavendra, is always satisfied in the loving service to the Lord. Material hunger and thirst cannot impede his activities. While he desired to taste a little sweet rice offered to the deity, he considered that he had committed an offense by desiring to eat what was being offered to the deity. Madhavendra left the temple and sat down in the village marketplace, which was vacant. Sitting there, he began to chant. In the meantime, the temple priest laid the deity down to rest. Finishing his daily duty, the priest went to take rest. In a dream, he saw Gopinath, the deity, come to talk to him, and he spoke as follows. O priest, third dream, now this is to the priest. O priest, get up and open the door of the temple. I have kept one pot of sweet rice for the sannyasi Madhavendra Puri. The pot of sweet rice is just behind my cloth curtain. You did not see it because of my tricks. You idiot. You offered 12 and you picked up it was 11, but you didn't count. And the priest didn't know. The sannyasi named Madhavendra Puri is sitting in a vacant marketplace. Please take the pot of sweet rice from behind me and deliver it to him. Go. The behind TT, many times there is a curtain and there he had hidden the pot. Go. Where he's sitting is in the marketplace. His name is Madandapuri. Awakened from the dream, then the priest is doing the Pancharatrika Vidhi. The priest immediately rose from the bed and thought it wise to take a bath before entering the DT room, because you cannot enter DT room when you're sleeping like that. You have to take a bath, wear fresh clothes. Then you open the temple door. According to DT direction, priest found the pot of sweet rice behind the cloth curtain. He removed the pot and mopped up the place. Mop because it is prasada now. It has to be cleaned. Otherwise, you cannot put bhoga on that place. And it has been kept. Then he went out of the temple. This will be understood by any pujari. Closing the door of the temple, he went to the village with the pot of sweet rice. He called out in every stall in the search of Madandapuri. What did he say? Holding the pot of sweet rice, the priest cried, will he, whose name is Madandapuri, please come here and take this pot? Gopinath has stolen this pot of sweet rice for you. The priest continued, would the sannyasi, whose name is Madandapuri, please come and take this pot of sweet rice and enjoy the prasad with great pleasure. You are the most fortunate person within these 3 words. Hearing the invitation, so the priest is also not ordinary, because the Lord will not come in the dream of XYZ. He is also a very advanced devotee. Hearing the invitation, Madandapuri came out and identified himself. The priest then delivered the pot of sweet rice and gave full dandavat. Not for me, for him. But it always says, falling flat before him. And the story about the pot of sweet rice explained to him in detail, Madandapuri at once became absorbed in ecstatic love of Krishna. The priest could understand. He really deserves, he's so advanced devotee. Upon seeing the ecstatic loving symptoms manifest in Madandapuri, the priest was struck with wonder. He could understand why Krishna has become so much obliged to him. And he saw that the Krishna action was befitting. The priest offered his obeisances to Madandapuri and returned to the temple. Then in ecstasy, Madandapuri ate the sweet rice offered to him by Krishna. By having such kind of arrangements. After that, Madandapuri washed a pot and broke it into pieces, then bound all the pieces in an outer cloth and kept them nicely. Each day, Madandapuri would eat 1 piece of that earthen pot, and after eating it, he would immediately be overwhelmed with ecstasy. This is a wonderful story. So he got 1 pot there and of milk in Vrindavan, and the pot of sweet rice there. Having broken the pot and bound the pieces in his cloth, Madandapuri began to think, the Lord has given me a pot of sweet rice, and when the people hear of this tomorrow morning, they will be great crowds. Now, as a great devotee doesn't want attention. Devotee means he doesn't want respect. Devotee doesn't seek. Devotee is not a self-advertiser. Devotee is always a silent worker. Okay? So he just wants to vanish from that place. Thinking this, Madandapuri offered his obeisances to Gopinath on the spot and left Remuna before morning. Walking, Madandapuri Jagannath, which is also known as Nilachal, where he saw Lord Jagannath and was overrun with loving ecstasy. When Madandapuri was overrun with ecstasy or love of God, he sometimes stood up and sometimes fell to the ground. Sometimes he laughed, danced, and sang. In this way, he enjoyed transcendental bliss by seeing Jagannath deity. Take care. When Madandapuri came to Jagannath Puri, people are aware of his transcendental reputation. He's a great devotee, just like you saw Advaitacharya taking Diksha from him. Therefore, crowds of people came and offered him all sorts of respect and devotion. So he was hiding, running away from the crowd. But actually, respect naturally comes. Respect is not advertised. We don't advertise for respect. We don't seek respect. We should command respect, not demand it. Even though one may not like it, reputation is ordained by the providence came to him. Indeed, one's transcendental reputation is known throughout the entire world. To this day, we are reading about it. Being afraid of his reputation, Pratishtha, Madandapuri fled from Ramuna, but the reputation brought by love of God, it is so sublime, it goes along with the devotees as if following him. Madandapuri wanted to leave Jagannath Puri because the people are honoring him with great devotee. However, this threatened to hinder his collecting sandalwood for Gopal deity. So he had some. Madandapuri told the servants of Lord Jagannatha and all the great Puri appearance of Shri Gopala and how the deity asked him. All the devotees of Jagannath Puri heard that Gopala deity wanted sandalwood. In great pleasure, they all endeavored to collect it. Those who are acquainted with the government officers met with them and begged for camphor and sandalwood, which they collected. One Brahmana and one Sarvana given to Madandapuri just to carry the sandalwood. He was also given traveling expenses. To get past at all, collectors along the way, Madandapuri was supplied the necessary release papers from government officers. The paper was placed in his hand. So he is ready to take any trouble for the Lord. And it's quite risky those days because India was covered with so many small kings and so many Muslim kings, which was quite dangerous. So now the Lord is thinking of something. He changes the plan. In this, Madhapuri started from Vrindavana with a burden of sandalwood, and after some days, he reached the village of Ramuna and again, same Gopinath temple there. When Madhapuri reached the temple of Gopinatha, he offered respectful obeisance many times at the lotus feet of the Lord. In ecstasy of love, he began to dance and sing without cessation. When the priest, when the priest of Gopinath saw Madhapuri again, he offered all respect, and first thing he gave him a pot of sweet rice. Otherwise, night he'll have to get up. Prasada, and made him eat. Madhapuri took rest that night in the temple, but toward the end of the night, he had another dream. Now, this is the third dream. Madhapuri dreamed that Gopala before him and said, "Oh, Madhapuri, I have already received all the sandalwood and camphor. Please just grind all the sandalwood together with the camphor and smear the pulp on the body of Gopinath daily until it is finished." There is no difference between my body and Gopinath's body. So the Lord did not want to give so much trouble bringing all the way. So he said, okay, you serve my deity there, Gopinath, I am the same person. They are one and the same. Therefore, if you smear the sandal pulp on the body of Gopinatha, you will naturally also smear it on my body. Thus, the temperature in my body will be reduced. You should not hesitate to act according to my order. Believing in me, just do what is needed. After giving these instructions, Gopala disappeared and Madhapuri awoke. He immediately called for all the servants of Gopinatha and they came before him. So Gopala came in his dream 3 times. First time, wear the deity. Second time, the order to go bring sandalwood. Third time, put it on Gopinatha. He immediately called for all the servants of Gopinatha. They all came running before him. Madhapuri said, smear the body of Gopinatha with this camphor and sandalwood. And they'll believe him. They know who is he. I brought from Gopala in Vrindavan and do this regularly every day. If sandalwood pulp is smeared over the body of Gopinath, and the Gopal will also be cooled. After all, Supreme Personality of God is completely independent. His order is all powerful. The servants of Gopinatha became very pleased to hear that in the summer, all the sandal pulp will be used to anoint the body of Gopinatha. Madhapuri said, these 2 assistants will regularly grind the sandalwood and you should also get 2 other people to help. I shall pay their salary. In this way, Gopinathji was supplied ground sandalwood pulp daily. The servants of Gopinatha were very pleased with this. In this way, the sandalwood pulp was smeared over the body of Gopinatha until the whole stock was finished. Madhapuri stayed there until that time. In the end of the summer, Madhapuri returned to Jagannath Puri, where he had remained with the great pleasure during the whole period of Chaturmasa. Okay? So, Gopinathji, he was there in the temple and he stayed, sorry. After that, he went to summer, he went to Jagannath Puri and he stayed for Chaturmasa there. Thus, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally praised the nectarian characteristics of Madhapuri, and while he related all this to the devotees, he personally relished it. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Nityananda Prabhu to judge whether there was anyone within the world as fortunate as Madhapuri. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Madhapuri was so fortunate that Krishna personally appeared before him on the plea of delivering milk. 3 times the Lord gave orders to Madhapuri in dreams. Being obliged, can you see that? What he's saying? Whether there is anyone in the world as fortunate as Madhapuri. We think anybody is fortunate, he become rich, he become famous, or he has nice sense gratification. This is real fortune. To get orders from Krishna 3 times, personal order. Being obliged because of the loving affairs of Madhapuri, Lord Krishna himself appeared as a Gopala deity and accepting his service liberated the whole world. On account of Madhapuri, Lord Gopinatha stole the pot of sweet rice, thus he became famous as Shira Chora, the thief who stole the sweet rice. Madhapuri smeared the sandal pearl far over the body of Gopinatha. In this way, he was also overpowered with the love of Godhead. In the province of India, governed by Muslims, they were much inconvenienced in traveling with sandal and camphor. Because this Madhapuri might have gotten into trouble, this became known to Gopala deity. The Lord is so mercifully attached to his devotees, so when Gopinatha was covered with sandalwood pulp, Madhapuri labor became successful. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu placed the standard of Madhapuri's intense love before Lord Nityananda Prabhu for judgment. All his loving activities are uncommon. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, indeed, one is struck with wonder to hear of his activities. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, Sri Madhavpuri used to remain alone. He was completely renounced and always very silent. He was uninterested in everything material, and for fear of talking about mundane things, he always lived without a companion. After receiving the transcendental order of Gopala, this great personality traveled 1,000 miles just to collect sandalwood by begging. Although Madhavpuri was hungry, he would not beg food to eat. This renounced person carried a load of sandalwood for the sake of Sri Gopala. Without considering his personal comfort, Madhavpuri carried out one mana, about 82 pounds of sandalwood, and 20 tolas, 8 ounces of camphor to smear the body of Gopala. This transcendental pleasure was sufficient for him. Since there were restrictions against taking the sandalwood out of Odisha province, the tall officials confiscated the stock. But Madhavpuri showed him the release papers given by the government and consequently escaped difficulties. Madhavpuri was not at all anxious during the long journey to Vrindavana through the provinces governed by the Muslims and filled with an unlimited number of watchmen. Although Madhavpuri did not have a farthing with him, he was not afraid to pass by the tall officers. His only enjoyment was in carrying the load of sandalwood to Vrindavan for Gopala. To the natural desert of intense love of Godhead, the devotee does not consider personal inconveniences or impediments. In all circumstances, he wants to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sri Gopala wanted to show how intensely Madhavpuri loved Krishna. Therefore, he asked him to go to Nilachala to fetch sandalwood and camphor. With great trouble and after much labor, Madhavpuri brought the load of sandalwood to Remuna. However, he was still very pleased. He discounted all the difficulties. To test the intense love of Madhavpuri, Gopala, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, ordered him to bring sandalwood from Nilachala. And when Madhavpuri passed this examination, the Lord became very merciful to him. Such behavior exhibited in loving service between the devotee and the devotee's lovable object, Sri Krishna, is transcendental. It is not possible for a common man to understand. Common men do not even have the capacity. After saying this, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu read the famous verse of Madhavpuri. That verse is just like a moon. It has spread illumination all over the world. Chaitanya continuously rubbing increases the aroma of Malaya sandalwood. Similarly, consideration of this verse increases one's understanding of its importance. So, Madhavpuri, when he was leaving the world, he uttered a particular verse, my Lord, I am not able to enter your Mathura. What should I do? So that verse will come. As the cost of money is considered the most precious and valuable stone, this verse is similarly considered the best of the poem dealing with the mellows of devotion service. Actually, this verse was spoken by Srimati Radharani herself, and this way mercy, it was manifest in the words of Madhavpuri. Only Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tasted the poetry of this word. No fourth man is capable of understanding it. This is therefore three people in Mahabhava: Radharani, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Madhavpuri is the only jiva which could experience the intense love of Krishna. Madhavpuri recited the verse again and again at the end of his material existence. Thus, uttering this verse, he attained the ultimate goal of life. So here is the verse 197. Ai dina dayadara nata he, mathura nata kadava lokyase, hridayam twad aloka kataram, daita brahmayati kim karomi aham. O my Lord, O most merciful Master of Mathura, when shall I see you again? Because of my not seeing you, my agitated heart has become unsteady. O most beloved one, what shall I do now? When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recited this verse, again we read the verse meaning again. O my Lord, O most merciful Master, O Master of Mathura, when shall I see you again? Because of my not seeing you, my agitated heart has become unsteady. O most beloved one, what shall I do now? How beautiful. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recited this verse, he immediately fell to the ground unconscious. He was overwhelmed and had no control over himself, exhibiting ecstatic. When Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fell to the ground in ecstatic love, Lord Nityananda quickly took him on his lap, crying. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then got up again. Exhibiting ecstatic emotion, the Lord began to run here and there, making resounding noises. Sometimes he laughed, and sometimes he cried, and sometimes he danced and sang. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could not recite the whole verse. He simply said, Ai Dina, repeatedly. Thus he could not speak, and the profuse tears were in his eyes. Trembling, perspiration, jubilant tears, shock, fading of the body, luster, disappointment, moroseness, loss of memory, pride, joy. These are all in Krishna Prema. These different symptoms always manifest, but all visible in Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's body. They're all ecstasies, explained in great detail. This verse uncovered the doors of ecstatic love, and it was exhibited. All the servants of Gopinatha saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dance in ecstasy. When many people crowded around Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he regained in extensive senses. In the meantime, the offering to the deity had been finished, and there was a resounding arati performance. When the deities are laid down to rest, the priest came out of the temple and offered all the 12 pots of sweet rice to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When the pots of sweet rice remnant of Gopinatha placed before Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he became very pleased. In order to feed the devotee, he accepted 5 of them. Some remaining pots were pushed forward and delivered to the priest. The 5 pots of sweet rice the Lord had accepted were distributed among 5 devotees, and they ate. So there were 4 devotees accompanying Lord Chaitanya, so they together too. Being identical with Gopinath deity, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had already tasted and eaten the pots of sweet rice. Yet to manifest devotion service, he again ate the pots of sweet rice as a devotee. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu passed the night at the temple, engaged in congregational chanting, and in the morning, after seeing the Mangalarti performance, he departed. In this way, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally tasted with his own mouth the transcendental qualities of Gopalji, Gopinath, and Sri Madhavendra. Thus I have described both the transcendental glories of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's affection for his devotees and the highest limit of ecstatic love of God. Ai Dina, Ai Dina. One who hears the narration with faith and devotion attain the treasure love of God at the lotus feet of the Lord. Praying at the lotus feet of Sri Rupa and Sri Raghunatha, always desiring the mercy. Sri Rupa Raghunatha Padayara Asha, Chaitanya Charitamrita Kahe Krishna Dasa. I, Krishna, narrate Chaitanya Charitamrita following in their footsteps. Ai Dina Dayar, O most merciful. Dayar. So nice. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Pranam, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Pranams, Prabhuji. Thank you very much,
Beautiful
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji narration.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna,
Prabhuji, for such nice.
Touching, very, very touching. Ai Dina.
Dayat.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I have one question, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Patra, you are from Odisha only, no?
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, Prabhuji. What is Annakuta ceremony, Prabhuji?
Annakuta means huge. Anna is offered. That all I can understand. You saw the mountain of grain, everything is offered to the Lord. Okay? It was done with Krishna's time also, Annakuta ceremony.
And how?
They offered to the Govardhan that time. That is also Annakuta ceremony. Huh?
Thank you, Prabhuji. And how old was Madhavendra Purit this past time, during this past?
I don't know exactly the age. I don't know. You can guess. Okay, Hare Krishna, everybody.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare
Thank
Krishna,
you.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Pranams,
Krishna,
Prabhuji.
Krishna, Dhanyavad, Prabhuji.
Hare
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.